Have you ever felt betrayed by someone you once completely trusted? Those sweet words, those seemingly caring gestures, did they truly come from the heart, or were they merely a mask to hide personal motives? Do they genuinely care about you, or do they see you as nothing more than a tool to achieve their own goals? As much as we don't want to believe it, sometimes deceit can emerge even in relationships we thought were the most genuine. When you realize someone isn't being sincere, it's not just hurtful. Sometimes it leaves you questioning, where did I go wrong? Why didn't I see this coming sooner? But how can we spot the signs of insincerity before it causes deeper pain? How can we protect our inner peace without being consumed by doubt, loss, or negative emotions? This is where Stoicism, an ancient yet powerful philosophy, becomes a guiding light to help us navigate these challenges. Join me as we uncover the 7 clearest signs of insincerity in relationships, and more importantly, learn how to apply Stoic principles to overcome this pain while maintaining your inner peace and strength. Stay until the end of the video to reflect on how many signs you've encountered and to remind yourself that you're not alone on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to us. Thank you for your support. Are you ready? Let's get started. Sign 1. They never reach out first. Have you ever felt like you're always the one chasing after a relationship, holding on to it without getting anything in return? A true friend will care and share without waiting for you to make the first move. If they only show up when you reach out, it speaks volumes about the nature of the connection. As a Stoic, I don't suggest cutting ties with such people immediately. Instead, strive to understand human nature more deeply and learn to let go of unrealistic expectations about others. When someone never initiates contact, it could indicate that they see you as a secondary relationship, a source of convenience, or simply lack genuine commitment. Imagine a friend who only calls when they need help or feel down. Is that a sincere and lasting friendship? Likely not, because a true relationship involves both sides willingly giving and receiving, not one person shouldering all the effort. Ask yourself, if I stopped reaching out, would they make any effort to maintain this relationship? Give yourself a moment of silence and observe what happens. If they truly care, they'll notice your absence and reach out. If not, perhaps you've already found your answer. As Epictetus once said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Their silence might hurt, but remember, this is a valuable lesson. Instead of dwelling on the pain, focus on managing your emotions and gradually learning to let go. Stoicism teaches us that expectations are often the root of disappointment in any relationship. If we place too much hope in others acting the way we want, we're setting ourselves up for hurt when they don't. Learn to view relationships realistically and take control of how you respond. The truth is, when you accept others' lack of initiative without letting it affect you, you cultivate an inner peace, serenity that doesn't rely on anyone else's validation. Sign 2. They're never there when you need them. A genuine friend will stand by your side, sharing your burdens when life gets tough, without hesitation. In contrast, insincere people often show up only when they can benefit from you. They may act caring and close, leading you to believe you matter to them, but when you face challenges and need support, they vanish without a trace. Have you ever wondered why, whenever you need help, they always have an excuse for their absence? It's because to them, the relationship exists only as long as they're gaining something from it. During your moments of struggle and vulnerability, they see no value in you anymore. They show up when they need something, but as soon as they've gotten what they want, they make a quick exit. This is a one-sided relationship. Imagine going through a stressful time at work, feeling drained and in desperate need of someone to listen and offer advice. You call the person you've always considered your best friend, the one you've supported whenever they needed you. But when you reach out, they don't respond. They don't answer your call, or they offer excuses about being busy, promising to call back later. A call that never comes. Often these fair-weather friends justify their absence with convincing excuses. They claim they're busy, dealing with personal issues, or caught up in urgent matters. In truth, these are just masks hiding their selfishness and lack of sincerity. A true friend doesn't fabricate lies to avoid you in difficult times. They show up and listen, even when they're struggling with their own challenges. Sometimes we need to ask ourselves, does this friendship bring value and meaning, or is it just a temporary arrangement based on convenience? Marcus Aurelius taught us not to place our trust in things outside our control, including the presence of others. A genuine friend won't disappear when you need them most, and Stoicism encourages us to rely on ourselves rather than depending on someone else's presence. Be cautious and selective about who you allow into your life. Ultimately, a true friendship endures not because of benefits or circumstances, but because of genuine love and mutual respect. Sign 3. They're only focused on themselves. Have you ever felt like just an audience member in someone else's one-man show? When dealing with insincere people, you quickly realize you're merely a listener in a monologue where they dominate the stage while you're relegated to being a passive observer. These individuals don't genuinely care about you. They see every conversation as an opportunity to talk about their lives, achievements and problems, turning you into an unwilling sounding board. This behavior not only reveals their selfishness, but also underscores a fundamental lack of sincerity in the relationship. Think of a co-worker who constantly brags about their big projects, recent luxurious trips, and extensive social network. Yet, whenever you attempt to share something about yourself, they immediately steer the conversation back to themselves, leaving any attempt at meaningful connection feeling hollow. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." People who are self-absorbed often seek constant validation, using conversations as a stage for their ego rather than an opportunity to build genuine connections. When you share your struggles, instead of listening and offering support, they quickly pivot to discussing their own difficulties. At that moment, you realize this person isn't a true friend. They have no intention of sharing your burdens. They only want to unload their own. Insincere people not only fail to listen, but also disregard your feelings and thoughts. They lack the sensitivity to understand others' emotions and rarely provide genuine encouragement. When you share something meaningful or vulnerable, their responses are often superficial or dismissive, downplaying the significance of what you've said. When faced with someone who only talks about themselves, instead of feeling disappointed or angry, remember that their behavior reflects a lack of maturity. You don't need to respond to insincerity with negative emotions. Instead, maintain a safe distance and recognize that they won't add positive value to your life. Once you realize someone is only interested in speaking, not listening, apply a Stoic mindset. Remember that you have the power to choose relationships that are worthy of your time. You're not obligated to endure someone else's selfishness. Sign 4. They forget what you share. Have you ever shared a deeply personal story, a memorable life event, or a cherished dream, only to realize later that the person you told doesn't remember a single detail? Maybe when you bring it up again, they give you a blank stare, as if they're hearing it for the first time. This isn't just a small lapse in memory. It's a sign that they were never truly engaged in the conversation or invested in you as a person. Deep down, we all hope that those closest to us not only listen, but also remember our stories, struggles, and joys. Remembering is one of the truest signs of genuine care and interest. I once had an experience with a friend like this. I told them about the excitement of starting a new course, something I had been anticipating and preparing for a long time. Over coffee, I eagerly shared my expectations and the goals I was passionate about achieving. To me, it was a pivotal moment, a new chapter in my life that I wanted to share. But the next time we met, it was as if the conversation had never happened. They didn't ask about my progress or even acknowledge my plans. As Seneca said, if you want to be loved, love first. Someone who truly listens does so not out of obligation, but from genuine care. Remembering is not a chore, it's a natural result of affection and attentiveness. In contrast, I have another friend who always remembers the smallest details I've shared, whether it's a restaurant I want to try or a short trip I took with family. These seemingly trivial things mean so much because they show that she's fully present, listening not just with her ears, but with her heart. According to Stoic philosophy, strong and sincere relationships must be built on genuine interest and active listening. After experiences like this, I asked myself, is it worth maintaining relationships where the other person doesn't truly listen? The answer became increasingly clear as I realized I don't need to hold on to people who don't value me. Since then, I've learned to cherish those who truly care. Friends who remember the stories I tell, ask about my trips, and genuinely want to hear my responses. These friends may be few, but they are sincere and priceless. In the end, I constantly remind myself that life is truly fulfilling and meaningful when we're surrounded by people who genuinely understand and respect us. Those who don't just show up when it's convenient, but stay through all the highs and lows of life. Sign 5. They always try to take advantage of you. Have you ever realized that in a relationship, every question, every gesture from the other person seems to have an ulterior motive? At first, they might seem like a trustworthy friend, genuinely interested in your life and work, even standing by you during tough times. But when you look closer, you see that it's all for their own benefit. Such people don't hesitate to show interest or ask detailed questions about your life. But when you dig deeper, you understand they're simply hunting for what they can extract from you. They delve into your life not to understand you, but to see what they can use. Imagine a co-worker who constantly seeks your ideas for their projects. They rely on your expertise and creativity, but when you need similar support, they always have an excuse to avoid helping. Over time, you realize you're nothing more than a resource they exploit as needed, not a colleague they genuinely respect. Marcus Aurelius taught us the importance of understanding others' motives. Stoicism helps us stay calm and avoid being hurt by these one-sided relationships. Consider a friend who often asks for your advice or personal help. At first, you feel valued, but then you notice that when you share your own challenges, they suddenly become busy or indifferent. In today's world, where many people tend to take more than they give, toxic relationships can form easily. These individuals will do whatever it takes to get what they want from you. They may pretend to be your friend, even exploiting your vulnerable moments, to maintain a relationship that serves only their interests. It's crucial to reassess the relationships in your life. Ask yourself, who am I spending most of my time, energy, and resources on? If the answer reveals that you're always the one giving, sacrificing without receiving anything meaningful in return, that's a clear sign of a manipulative relationship. Remember, setting boundaries doesn't mean becoming cold or closed off. It's a way to protect your energy and time, reserving them for relationships that truly matter, those where there's a balance of giving and receiving, where both parties respect and value each other. Finally, as a Stoic, recognize that while you can't control others' behavior, you can control your response to it. Instead of feeling bitter about one-sided relationships, see them as opportunities to grow and learn to cultivate healthier, more meaningful connections in your life. Sign 6. They speak ill of you behind your back. One of the most painful experiences in life is discovering that someone you trust or respect has been speaking negatively about you behind your back. For those who follow Stoicism, Confronting and accepting this betrayal requires both clarity and resilience, a calm mind that doesn't allow gossip to disrupt your inner peace. While there may not always be clear evidence, you can often sense when someone is talking behind your back. It feels like an invisible tension every time you're near them, a vague uneasiness you can't quite explain. You might not know exactly what they've said or to whom, but subtle changes in their behavior give it away: a forced smile, a distant tone, or passive-aggressive gestures. Imagine a once close colleague you trusted who has grown distant. They still exchange polite words with you, but their eyes lack sincerity. Their stories increasingly center around themselves, and they skillfully dismiss your contributions or concerns. Epictetus wisely said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By letting hurtful words affect you, you give others control over your emotions. Instead, let those words pass by without dwelling on them, remaining calm and focused on what truly matters. Often, you'll hear gossip through mutual friends, trusted colleagues, or even passing remarks from acquaintances. People who gossip frequently reveal themselves through passive-aggressive behavior, downplaying your achievements or making comments designed to sow doubt about you. When faced with betrayal, it's easy to get caught in a cycle of negative reactions. However, Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of controlling your emotions and actions. Ask yourself, does this truly matter? Do these words change who I really am? With firm belief in your self-worth, you'll see that negative comments are nothing more than background noise in your life. People who speak ill of you are often driven by envy or resentment, dragged into negativity by their own insecurities. Instead of engaging in their jealousy, focus on your personal growth, refusing to let rumors disturb your peace of mind. Stoicism doesn't advocate cutting off everyone who speaks poorly of you. Instead, it encourages maintaining your self-respect and protecting your inner tranquility. Remember, no matter what others say behind your back, their words do not define your value. Sign 7. They change their behavior, depending on the person. After exploring clear signs of insincerity, like speaking ill behind your back, we now turn to a more subtle but equally important red flag: changing behavior based on who they're around. Stoicism encourages us to live authentically and stay true to our core values. So people who constantly shift their attitudes to please others are fundamentally at odds with this philosophy. Maintaining a relationship with someone who constantly changes their behavior is challenging. For them, hiding their true nature is almost instinctual. They can easily transform into someone else, adjusting their words, demeanor, or attitude to suit their audience. This might show in small ways, such as complimenting you in private, but ignoring you in the presence of someone more influential. Marcus Aurelius taught, "The true worth of a man is to live in harmony with his nature." A person who frequently changes their behavior based on circumstances lacks the courage to be genuine, undervalues sincerity, and often seems to lack any firm internal principles. Imagine a colleague who is warm and friendly when it's just the two of you, but in front of higher-ups or management, they suddenly become overly confident, even willing to belittle you to elevate their own standing. In such moments, Stoic philosophy encourages us to stay calm and seek a deeper understanding of human nature instead of reacting with negative emotions. Do you notice someone behaving differently when influential people are around? They may seem indifferent to you in everyday situations, but in the presence of someone famous or wealthy, they suddenly become enthusiastic and overly friendly. This behavior reveals a lack of authenticity and a tendency to value others solely for the benefits or status they can provide. These individuals often gravitate to events attended by powerful people, trying to impress and gain attention. They won't hesitate to disregard those who no longer serve their purposes. But as Marcus Aurelius taught, True value lies in honesty and living in harmony with one's nature, not in temporary adjustments for short-term gain. When you notice someone changing their attitude whenever influential individuals are present, ask yourself if they truly respect you or if they're merely using you as a stepping stone. If one day you were to lose your power, status, or success, would they still stand by you, or would they quickly move on to more advantageous relationships? This is a moment for thoughtful reflection on the value of your relationships. Recognizing insincerity doesn't mean doubting everyone around you. It's about choosing to nurture relationships that are genuinely meaningful. Stoic philosophy teaches us not to rely on the fleeting emotions of others, but to maintain a steady, calm mindset, untouched by superficial behavior. We've explored the 7 signs of identifying insincere people together. Stoic philosophy teaches us true strength lies not in controlling others, but in mastering yourself. When dealing with insincere people, don't let yourself fall into the spiral of negative emotions like hurt or anger. Instead, treat it as a lesson to cultivate inner calm. Stay clear-headed, be selective, and focus on building relationships that truly matter. Remember, you cannot control others' behavior, but you can control how you respond. This is the true power of confidence and inner peace. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss meaningful content in the future. Thank you for taking your valuable time to listen and reflect with me. I wish you strength, peace, and clarity in all aspects of life. See you in the next video, where we'll dive into more meaningful lessons from Stoic philosophy to live a deeper and more fulfilling life.